Hello and welcome to Digital Marketing Unleashed. I'm Stanley, your host, and today we're diving into something truly exciting, the untapped potential of Viber as a growth platform. While everyone's obsessing over WhatsApp and Telegram, we're going to reveal why Viber might just be the goldmine you've been overlooking. I'm thrilled to be joined by two incredible experts today, Jenny, a digital community strategist, and Monica, who's helped numerous brands build thriving Viber channels. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Stanley. I'm Jenny, and I've spent the last 5 years helping businesses transform their digital presence through messaging platforms. Viber has been my secret weapon for clients looking to stand out in crowded markets.
Great to be here. I'm Monica, and I specialize in content strategy for emerging social platforms. I've helped over 50 brands build and monetize their Viber presence, and I'm excited to share what actually works versus what just wastes time.
Perfect. Today we'll be covering everything from Viber's unique features to building engagement, growth tactics, and even monetization opportunities. By the end of this podcast, you'll have a complete roadmap for turning Viber into your next growth engine.
And let me just add, we're not just talking theory here. We've got real case studies and practical strategies you can implement immediately.
That's right. So let's get started on unlocking Viber's potential. Let's start by getting everyone on the same page. What exactly makes Viber unique compared to other messaging platforms? Jenny, could you break this down for us?
Absolutely. Viber sits in this fascinating middle ground. It's casual like WhatsApp, but structured enough for businesses. The key differentiator is its dual approach with both channels and groups. Channels are one-way communication streams, perfect for broadcasting content, while groups enable that two-way interaction.
That's right. And let's not overlook Viber's rich media capabilities. Unlike some platforms, Viber supports custom stickers, clickable buttons, native polls, and broadcast messages, all with excellent engagement metrics. Plus, there's the Discover section, where channels can gain organic visibility.
I've always wondered about that distinction between channels and groups. Monica, how should brands decide which to use?
I always tell clients, channels build your image, groups build your tribe. For most brands, I actually recommend both. Use your channel for polished content and your group for community engagement. It creates this perfect ecosystem.
And don't forget that Viber's user base is incredibly strong in specific regions like Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and parts of the Middle East. If your target audience overlaps with these demographics, you're leaving money on the table by ignoring Viber.
We've touched on the difference between channels and groups, but I think we should dig deeper here. It's a crucial decision for anyone starting out on Viber. Monica, what's your framework for helping brands decide which route to take?
I love this question because it's where most brands get stuck. Think of it this way. Channels are your broadcast medium. They're for your polished content, announcements, and one-way communication. Groups, on the other hand, are your community spaces where everyone can contribute.
Exactly. I always tell my clients that channels build your image while groups build your tribe. It's not actually an either-or decision, though. The most successful brands use both in tandem.
That's fascinating. So how do you recommend splitting content between the two?
Your channel should be your premium content. Think of it as your main stage. Your group is where you can be more casual, respond to questions, and let your community interact with each other. The beauty is how they complement each other.
I've seen brands start with just a channel to build their base, then launch a group once they have enough followers who want deeper engagement. It creates this natural funnel of increasing commitment.
So the channel attracts people and the group retains them.
Precisely. It's all about creating that ecosystem.
All right, let's talk about creating a strong channel identity. This is crucial because first impressions matter enormously on Viber. Jenny, what are the key elements brands should focus on when crafting their channel presence?
The most successful Viber channels I've worked with nail 4 key elements: a distinctive name, a compelling visual identity, a clear value proposition, and a consistent content rhythm. Your channel name should be memorable but also searchable. Avoid being too clever at the expense of clarity.
Absolutely. And let's talk about that visual identity. Your channel image has to pop even at thumbnail size. I always recommend incorporating your face if you're a personal brand or a bold, simple logo for businesses. Remember, you're competing for attention in a crowded space.
What about the channel description? I've noticed huge variation in how brands approach this.
That's your make or break moment. Keep it to 2 to 3 sentences that clearly articulate what subscribers will get. I love the formula. Get X without Y, or the only channel for X that also delivers Y. Make it benefit-focused, not feature-focused.
And can I add something about content rhythm? People crave patterns. Having themed days or consistent posting schedules builds anticipation. Monday motivation, Tuesday tips. It sounds simple, but it works brilliantly for retention. But
That makes so much sense. Essentially, you're creating a recognizable experience, not just a channel. Let's talk content strategy. This is where the rubber meets the road on Viber. What types of content actually work best on this platform? Monica, you've managed content for dozens of brands. What's your take?
the beauty of Viber is its versatility. You can use text, voice notes, polls, stickers, video snippets, and they all serve different purposes. What I found works incredibly well is creating a content rhythm. Monday motivation, Tuesday tips, Wednesday polls. That predictable pattern builds anticipation and keeps people coming back.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of voice notes. They perform brilliantly on Viber because they feel personal. One of my clients saw engagement triple when they started sending 30-second voice updates instead of text.
That's fascinating. What about frequency? How often should brands be posting?
I recommend 3 to 5 times a week for most brands, quality over quantity. And mix up your formats. Don't just stick to one content type.
I'll add something crucial here. Posts should be punchy and direct. Viber isn't the place for long-form content. Keep it under 100 words when possible. Use emojis strategically and always include a clear call to action.
What about user-generated content? Does that work on Viber?
Absolutely. Especially in groups. Encouraging members to share their experiences creates this wonderful sense of community. It's not just about your content, it's about creating a space where others feel valued for contributing.
Let's shift gears and talk about growth tactics. We know Viber has potential, but how do we actually build an audience there? Monica, what organic strategies have you seen work best?
The beauty of Viber growth is that it rewards consistency over virality. Cross-promotion is absolutely essential. Place your Viber QR code on all your existing channels. Instagram bio, email signature, even offline materials. That simple invite link can be your most powerful asset.
And don't underestimate the power of collaboration. Some of my clients' fastest growth came from shout-out swaps with complementary channels. It's about tapping into existing communities rather than building from scratch.
What about content-driven growth tactics? Any specific approaches there?
Absolutely. Polls and interactive content drive tremendous engagement. But here's my secret weapon. Exclusivity. Offer something on Viber that people can't get anywhere else, whether that's early access, special voice notes, or custom stickers.
I've found gamification works wonders too. Simple things like recognizing top contributors or running small contests can transform passive subscribers into active community members and ambassadors who bring in their friends.
That's brilliant. So it's really about building a complete ecosystem rather than just broadcasting content. Let's dive into what might be the most crucial element: building real engagement. You can have all the followers in the world, but without engagement, it's just a number. Jenny, what's your approach to turning passive subscribers into active community members?
The secret is making people feel seen. I always start by asking questions that are easy to answer but make people feel valued. Simple things like, "Where are you tuning in from today?" can transform the dynamic from broadcast to conversation.
Absolutely. And recognition is so powerful. We implemented a Member of the Week feature for one client where we highlighted someone's contribution or question. It completely transformed their group dynamic. Suddenly, everyone wanted to participate.
That's brilliant. What about those first awkward days when you're just starting out?
Plant seeds of engagement. Have friends or team members ask questions and respond initially. Nobody wants to be first on an empty dance floor, but once a few people are dancing, others join in.
And don't underestimate voice messages. They feel incredibly personal. One of my clients sends a 30-second voice update every morning, and it's their most engaged with content by far. People feel like they're part of an inner circle.
That human touch really makes all the difference, doesn't it? Let's talk about something critical that many marketers overlook: measuring and optimizing your Viber performance. How do you know if all this effort is actually working? Jenny, what metrics should brands be tracking?
The beauty of Viber is its robust analytics. Focus on 4 key metrics: subscription growth rate, content reach, engagement rate, and retention. I always tell clients to look beyond vanity metrics like total subscribers and focus on engagement trends. Are people actually interacting with your content?
Absolutely. And don't forget to implement UTM parameters on your outbound links. Viber's native analytics are good, but combining them with Google Analytics gives you that complete picture of how Viber fits into your overall marketing ecosystem.
What about A/B testing? Is that something that works well on Viber?
It's essential. Test different post formats, posting times, even voice notes versus text. We found with one client that posts at 8 p.m. outperformed identical content at noon by almost 40%. These small optimizations compound dramatically over time.
And pay attention to content consumption patterns. If your tutorial posts consistently outperform your promotional content, that's valuable intelligence. Let the data guide your content strategy, not assumptions.
That's brilliant. So it's really about building this feedback loop between what you post and how it performs. Let's talk about something that can truly transform your Viber community: gamification. It's one thing to get members, but keeping them engaged is where the real magic happens. Jenny, how have you used gamification to boost retention?
Gamification is absolutely my secret weapon for retention. The simplest approach is recognition. Things like Member of the Month or Top Contributor badges. People crave acknowledgement more than actual rewards. We implemented a point system for one client where members earned points for commenting, sharing, and participating in polls. The results were staggering.
Exactly. And contests work brilliantly on Viber because they're so easy to implement. One of my favorite tactics is the streak challenge. Reward members who participate for 7 days straight with exclusive content or recognition. It creates this addictive loop that keeps people coming back.
What about leaderboards? Do they work well?
Absolutely. But here's the key. Make them reset weekly or monthly. Not just have all-time leaders. This gives new members a chance to climb the ranks and prevents the same people from dominating forever.
And don't forget the power of exclusive content. We created custom Viber stickers for one client's most engaged members. They became these mini celebrities in the community. Everyone wanted to earn their own sticker.
We've built an engaged community, but now let's talk about the ultimate goal: turning your members into ambassadors who actually grow your channel for you. Monica, what strategies have you seen work here?
This is where the magic happens. The most successful channels I've worked with create what I call sharing triggers, moments that naturally compel members to invite others. Custom stickers are golden for this. When you create branded stickers that only your members can access, they become conversation starters in other chats.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of simply asking. We implemented a Member Monday where we highlight someone who's brought new members to the community. The recognition alone drove more referrals than any incentive program we'd tried before.
That's brilliant. What about exclusive content as a referral tool?
It's incredibly effective. We created what we called unlock levels for one client. When the community reached certain membership milestones, everyone got access to premium content. Suddenly everyone had skin in the game for growing the channel.
And remember, your superfans want to feel like insiders. Give them early access, behind-the-scenes content, or even input on future topics. When people feel ownership, they naturally become evangelists.
Let's talk about something that could be a game changer for Viber channel managers: using AI to automate content creation. In today's fast-paced digital world, consistency is key, but creating fresh content daily can be exhausting. Monica, how are you seeing brands leverage AI specifically for Viber?
This is where things get exciting, Stanley. AI tools like ChatGPT can help create content templates for different days of the week. For example, you can generate 20 Monday motivation templates in one sitting, then just personalize them each week. But the real magic is in voice synthesis, creating AI voice notes that sound like you but don't require recording daily.
That's exactly right. What's working brilliantly for my clients is using AI for response automation in groups. We create templated answers for common questions, then human edit them for that personal touch. It cuts response time from hours to minutes while maintaining authenticity.
What about content scheduling? That seems like low-hanging fruit.
Absolutely. Tools like Publer now support Viber scheduling. The key is batching. Spend one day creating a week's worth of content, then let the AI and scheduling tools handle distribution. Your presence feels constant without the constant work.
Just remember, AI should enhance your voice, not replace it. The most successful channels use automation for consistency but preserve their unique perspective.
Now for what many of you have been waiting for, how to actually monetize your Viber presence. We've built an audience, created engagement, but how do we turn that into revenue? Monica, what monetization strategies are working best right now?
Unlike some platforms, Viber doesn't have a native creator fund, so you need to get creative. The most successful approach I've seen is the value ladder. Start with free content, then offer premium tiers. One beauty brand I worked with created a VIP group that required a small monthly payment, giving members exclusive tutorials and early access to product launches.
Affiliate marketing works exceptionally well too. Because Viber creates such strong trust, conversion rates for relevant product recommendations are often 3 to 4 times higher than email. The key is transparency. Always disclose when you're using affiliate links.
What about digital products? Do they sell well through Viber?
Absolutely. Mini courses, templates, and exclusive sticker packs sell brilliantly. We had one client generate over $30,000 from a $27 digital planner promoted exclusively through their Viber channel.
Don't overlook sponsored content either. Once you hit about 5,000 engaged members, brands in your niche will pay for access to your audience. The intimate nature of Viber means sponsored messages actually get seen.
Let's talk about something that can truly supercharge your growth, getting featured in Viber's Discover section. This is essentially the holy grail of organic visibility on the platform. Monica, what does it actually take to get featured there?
This is where patience meets strategy, Stanley. Viber's algorithm looks for 3 key things: consistent engagement, growth velocity, and content quality. You can't game the system. It's about building something genuinely valuable over time. I found that channels posting 3 to 5 times weekly with high engagement rates are most likely to get featured.
Absolutely. What's often overlooked is content diversity. Channels that utilize multiple formats, text, polls, voice notes, stickers, signal to Viber that they're maximizing the platform's capabilities. One of my clients got featured after implementing themed content days with different formats for each.
Are there any specific topics or niches that seem to get featured more often?
While there's no official preference, I've noticed entertainment, education, and lifestyle content tends to get featured more frequently. But ultimately, it's about audience resonance. A highly engaged niche community often outperforms a larger but passive audience.
Let's address something important: the obstacles that might derail your Viber strategy. Every platform has challenges, and knowing how to navigate them is crucial. Monica, what are the most common roadblocks you see brands encounter?
The biggest challenge is definitely content fatigue. Many brands start strong but burn out after a few weeks. The solution is batch creating content. Spend one day per month creating frameworks, then just personalize them weekly. Another major issue is the ghost town syndrome, when engagement drops suddenly.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the comparison trap. Brands often get discouraged comparing their Viber metrics to Instagram or TikTok. But these platforms have fundamentally different engagement patterns. On Viber, a 15% view-to-reaction ratio is actually phenomenal, while on Instagram that might seem low.
What about technical challenges? Any common issues there?
Content formatting can be tricky at first. Many brands don't realize that Viber renders differently on iOS versus Android. Always preview your posts on both operating systems before sending to avoid broken layouts.
And don't forget community management challenges. As your group grows, moderation becomes crucial. Setting clear community guidelines from day one saves enormous headaches later.
I think it's time we get concrete with some real-world examples. Nothing illustrates potential better than success stories. Monica, can you share a case study of a brand that really nailed their Viber strategy?
Absolutely. One of my favorite examples is a mid-sized skincare brand that was struggling on Instagram but absolutely exploded on Viber. They started with just a channel where they shared daily skincare tips through voice notes. Their secret weapon? The founder recorded these herself, creating this intimate connection you just can't get on other platforms. Within 6 months, they had 50,000 subscribers and a conversion rate 3 times higher than their email list.
That personal touch is so crucial. I worked with a language learning app that implemented what they called Word of the Day stickers. They created custom Viber stickers for common phrases in different languages. These stickers became so popular that members started sharing them outside the channel, essentially turning their audience into advertisers. They grew from 8,000 to 75,000 members in under a year.
These are incredible results. What about smaller creators or personal brands?
I love the example of this fitness coach who used both a channel and a group brilliantly. His channel delivered structured workouts, while his group became this supportive community where members shared their progress. The accountability factor was so strong that his completion rates were 78% compared to 23% for his email courses.
We've covered so much ground today, but I'd love to wrap up by looking at the future. Where is Viber headed as a growth platform? What should marketers be preparing for? Monica, what trends are you seeing on the horizon?
The most exciting development is Viber's push toward commerce integration. They're rolling out native payment capabilities in select markets, which will transform how brands monetize their presence. I'm also seeing AI-powered personalization becoming more prominent. Imagine sending different content to segments of your audience automatically based on their engagement patterns.
Absolutely. Another major shift is the rise of voice content. Viber is investing heavily in voice message features, and brands that master the intimate nature of voice will have a massive advantage. We've seen engagement rates triple with voice notes compared to text in the same channel.
What about competition? Do you see Viber maintaining its unique position as platforms continue to converge in features?
That's what makes Viber so interesting right now. While everyone's fighting over the same spaces, Viber is doubling down on community features rather than just copying TikTok or Instagram. Their community-first approach positions them uniquely for brands seeking deeper connections rather than just eyeballs.
What an incredible journey we've been on today. We've covered everything from understanding Viber's unique features to building engagement, implementing growth tactics, and even monetization strategies. I think it's clear that Viber represents an untapped opportunity for many brands. Jenny, what would you say are your top takeaways for our listeners?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that Viber isn't just another messaging app. It's a comprehensive community platform. The brands that succeed treat it that way. Create value first, build genuine connections, and the growth follows naturally. And don't forget that dual approach, channels for broadcasting, groups for community. It's a powerful combination.
Absolutely. And I'd emphasize consistency over perfection. It's better to show up regularly with good content than sporadically with perfect content. The platforms that seem overlooked often provide the greatest opportunities. While everyone's fighting for attention on Instagram and TikTok, you could be building a loyal, engaged community on Viber.
Before we wrap up, I have one question I ask all my guests. What's the one thing you wish you'd known when you first started with Viber marketing?
That voice notes would be such game changers. I would have started using them much earlier.
For me, it's that community building beats content creation every time. Focus on making people feel connected, and everything else falls into place.
Thank you both for these fantastic insights. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on Digital Marketing Unleashed. Until next time, go build something amazing on Viber.